and I was about 3 months pregnant, and I had a very strong heartbeat. I had gone to the doctor. Everything was fine. He said, oh, you're going to have a very healthy child.
Is this demons trying to suck people's soul out of them and keep their spirit out of their body? Is that what this is?
And I said, why? What's wrong? They said, well, it's very odd. They said, first off, because there was a strong heartbeat, it was proof that there was a fetus.
But there was no fetus. The fetus was gone. Greg, where was the fetus? And we had the new End Times DVD, End Times Investigation. I have a lot of my friends on here, Lisa Haven, Michael Lake. I have Josh Peck, L.A. Marzulli. 8 hours of me investigating things like Satanism, demonic powers, Illuminati, New World Order, Antichrist, one world religion, end times miracles, Bible prophecy, and the alien demon connection with L.A. Marzulli. So I want you to text the word chosen to 91999, the word chosen to 91999, and get the End Times Investigation DVD. Everybody, we're back. David, so good to be with you. All right, so what are we talking about? We're talking about Satan building an army, very specifically. Now, Hollywood calls them aliens, and that's ridiculous because we've been brainwashed by this Hollywood nonsense since the 1940s, even before that, okay? And it's by design. I can't go into it now, but I will go into it on some show, okay? But it's by design, all right? Number two is we're talking about a very specific woman named Maria. She's got children. She had a dream, but we don't know if that's a dream, where she saw her 8-year-old son, okay? But go back 8 years and you'll find out that she was pregnant. And now she has the story she's going to unveil. Now, in the last segment, we talked about Greg and I thought that she was involved in astral projection and didn't even know it, because she talks about her soul, her spirit leaving her body, like being sucked out. You know, in chat, we've got a lot of people here relating to that, saying, hey, that's happened to me, astral projection. And so, see, this is things the church won't talk about, but we do talk about it because it's real. This is demons sucking people. Greg's with me, Greg Messina. Is this demons trying to suck people's soul out of them and keep their spirit out of their body? Is that what this is?
I do believe that. I think what's going on is the fact that the enemy, the spiritual enemy, Satan, the adversary, has the ability to wrap around our souls in a way. It's kind of along the lines of familiar spirits, if you're familiar with that terminology. So a familiar spirit basically attaches that spirit to another person's spirit or soul. And so they're able to kind of walk along with that person's spirit, depending on how, if they know the Lord or not. If somebody knows the Lord, that's a whole nother debate, whether Christians can have demons or not. And that's a whole nother area topic we don't need to get into. But this is the theory behind it, is that they're able to attach to one's soul or spirit if there's sin in that person's life, or if they do not know the Lord.
Yeah. I want to play Maria's clip, Jared. Let's play clip number 2. I'm going to recap a little bit. In the audio, we're going to hear her recapping a little bit. But basically, she has had this dream or experience where she's met these people, and they've told her, this is your son. His name's Elijah. Let's play that clip.
I felt a pound like in my chest, in my body, and I sat up in bed, and I was shaking and crying. I felt as if, something very traumatic had just happened, and it just wasn't a dream. So the next day, it was just so intense, it really disturbed me. And I just kept hearing the name Elijah, and this is your son. Now, the thing is that prior to that, I would say about 8 years prior, I was pregnant, and I was about 3 months pregnant, and I had a very strong heartbeat. I had gone to the doctor. Everything was fine. He said, oh, you're going to have a very healthy child. And the very next day, I had a miscarriage, a sudden miscarriage.
Oh.
And the doctors checked me. They told me I was having a miscarriage and did what they had to do and then sent me home. The very next day, I got a call, and I was told, you have to get back to the radiologist. And I said, why? What's wrong? And they said, well, it's very odd. They said, first off, because there was a strong heartbeat, was proof that there was a fetus. And when I had the miscarriage, the sac came out, and it should have had the fetus inside the sac, but there wasn't. There was no fetus. A whole group of doctors examining me because they were baffled by this. But at the time, they just said, you know, you're a perfectly healthy woman. Don't worry, you'll be able to have children. 8 years later, I'm showing a child that was about 8 years old.
Okay. All right. So this gets to the point where even me, David Heavener, has to go, hang on for a second. I mean, you know, this sounds like a Hollywood movie. Actually, it was a Hollywood movie. We're going to get into that later. So there was a placenta. Even in a miscarriage, there should be a fetus, but there was no fetus. The fetus was gone. Greg, where was the fetus?
Well, that's just it, David. Nobody knew, and it's documented. It's well documented. She showed me the documents. I mean, when I was interviewing her, she showed me the documents. As a matter of fact, she showed me there were two unusual sacs that look like two silicone sacs that were found that were extracted from her feet,
Okay.
from her womb. So unusual, very unusual.
Well, why didn't the doctors? I mean, surely they're going to go, wait a minute. There's no fetus. I mean, that's not even in like I said, a miscarriage. There's a fetus. Wouldn't they like have maybe called somebody, or I don't know? Is that like a crime or something? A missing fetus? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is this is so absurd and so unusual. Wouldn't somebody make a big deal out of this?
It is unusual, and you would think that they would make a big deal out of it because it wasn't only her. This was happening to, I want to say, millions of women around the world. But
wait a minute, hold it. You just said it's been happening to millions of women around the world.
I can't validate millions. However, it's been happening to women all around the world. So, so women all over the world have been having these experiences.
Okay, so as a writer, because you're a filmmaker also, I'm playing this out in my mind. Where did that fetus go? So in other words, somewhere between her going to the hospital, I guess she had the miscarriage at the hospital, right? Somewhere that miscarriage happening and them examining it, somebody had to take that fetus away, or could it be so supernatural that they could remove it from her body without her having the miscarriage?
That seems to be the only explanation. It was supernaturally taken from her, and it just baffled the doctors. It baffled her. And,
Okay. Now, you can hear right now, you can hear half the church screaming, wow, these guys are crazy. Get the tinfoil and make a hat and put it on both of them and, march them, out of the church. But we have to understand, and I ask the gatherers, this is a very sensitive subject. And I know we have a lot of women out there that I love dearly, and you too, guys, children of God. But we have to understand that we cannot have this little pea brain thinking anymore. We've got to open our mind and understand this is spiritual warfare, okay? That this could happen. It is a possibility, okay? So, Greg, here's the thing. You said millions of people all over the world. Here's my question to you. This is the first time I've heard about this specific thing happening, this particular thing. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. Why is the church? Where is the church in all this? Why are they not talking about this?
Well, for the same reason you just said, it is not well known. I don't think it's well known even in the UFO area, in the research. Uh, I think Maria is very courageous for coming out, speaking out about it. I don't know any other women that she has mentioned that have come out with something like this. So
Okay.
that would be the primary reason. And yeah, it is a very unusual case.
Yeah, you see what happens. I talk to SRA victims and program multiples and victims of human trafficking. The thing is, they feel alone, Greg. One of the things that they say to me that I get all the time is, David, I didn't know who to go to. I was alone. I was afraid to tell somebody because I thought they would think I was crazy. And when I would tell them, they would think I was crazy. And this has been the sadness of the modern day church, of not listening to what's going on to a lot of these victims right now. So, Greg, I want to, Jared, let's play clip number 3. I want to show the gatherers more of what Maria, her heart, and another side of Maria. Let's go ahead and play clip number 3. I want you to go and sign up right now to davidheavener.tv. It's exclusive just to the members. You'll see we have 10 channels, okay? We have the Prophecy channel, Saving Baby channel, the original TV series channel, the Health and Survival channel. We have a new channel called the Alien Demon Disclosure Abduction channel, and it's got a lot of L.A. Marzulli's videos that I've done with him, but a lot of other videos by other people. You can see that channel right there. We've got a new show up called Underground Alien, and it's the only place you're going to see these. You will not see them anywhere else. Please go and support the ministry by signing up. You can get 2 months free if you do it now. davidheavener.tv. The brand new DVD of Last Evangelist. You can get it right now. It's limited collector's edition. It's got the new episode on it, along with band videos with me and Michael Lake and Lisa Havens, Sheila Lazinski. Also, if you want to see Last Evangelist, the episode, it's exclusively episode 1 on davidheavener.tv.